Contents Part 1 Getting Ready for the SAT. Chapter 1 Introducing the SAT. Chapter 2 Doing Your Best on the SAT. Part 2 Evidence Based Reading and Writing. Chapter 3 Comment or Evidence. Chapter 4 Words in Context. Chapter 5 About the SAT Reading Test. Chapter 6 Reading Information and Ideas. Chapter 7 Reading Rhetoric. Chapter 8 Reading Synthesis. Chapter 9 Sample Reading Test Questions. Chapter 10 About the SAT Writing and Language Test. Chapter 11 Writing and Language Expression of Ideas. Chapter 12 Writing and Language Standard English Conversations Conventions. Chapter 13 Sample Writing and Language Test Questions. Chapter 14 About the SAT Exam. Part 3 Math. Chapter 15 About the SAT Math Test. Chapter 16 Heard of Algebra. Chapter 17 Problem Solving and Data Analysis. Passport to Advanced Math. Additional topics in math. Sample math questions, multiple choice, and sample math questions, student-produced response. And Part 4 is some of the official practice tests with answer explanations. We have 8 tests in total with essays. Part 1 Getting Ready for the SAT. Chapter 1 Introducing the SAT. Welcome to the official SAT study guide. This guide is designed for you. Return to it again and again in the coming weeks and months. Reading it an excellent way to become familiar with the SAT, its content, structure, timing, question types, and more. The information, advice, and example questions will help you prepare to take the test with confidence. Tackling new things make most of us nervous, but when we can learn a great deal about a new situation in advance, we feel much more able to take a deep breath and meet the challenge. Learning about the SAT through this guide and taking practice tests will help you be well prepared when your test date arrives. How does the SAT measure academic achievement? Questions on the SAT will not ask you to recall details of Hamlet or to the name the capital of Nevada or the location of the Rappahannock River. If you recall those facts, good for you, but the SAT will ask for something different. Instead of asking you to show what you've memorized, the questions invite you to exercise your thinking skills. All of the learning you've done from childhood to now contributes to how you think, but your mind manages information. Even if you don't recall the details of a history or science lesson, the process of learning information and blending it with previously learned information is key to becoming a skilled thinker. Remember, the SAT isn't designed to assess how well you've memorized a large set of facts. Rather, the SAT assesses your ability to apply in the knowledge and skills you need in college and career. The world needs more people who can use the thinking skills to solve problems, communicate clearly, and understand complex relationships. The best high school courses promote thinking skills, and colleges are looking for students who are skilled thinkers. The SAT is designed to measure the thinking skills you need to succeed in college and career. Remember, the SAT has been carefully crafted by many people, experts in their fields, to ensure that it's a fair test that assesses the knowledge and skills you need to succeed in college and career. How is the SAT developed? The process of developing a test given to millions of students around the world is complex and involves many people. The SAT is developed by the College Board, a not-for-profit organization that was founded more than a century ago to expand access to higher education. The College Board is a large organization with more than 6,000 schools, colleges, and universities as members. College Board test developers are content experts in physics, biology, statistics, math, English, history, computer science, sociology, education, psychology, and other disciplines. They use the expertise to create questions for the SAT that will allow students to demonstrate their best thinking. Committees of high school and college instructors Instructors review every potential SAT question to make sure that each one measures important knowledge and skills, that the questions are fair to all students, and that they are written in a way that models what students are learning in the best high school classrooms. Remember, colleges care about your SAT score because it's a strong predictor of how you'll be performed in college. By doing well in the SAT, you can show colleges that you're ready to succeed. Colleges want to admit students who will have successful college experiences and go on to have successful careers. College uses SAT in admissions because it's developed according to rigorous specifications with input from numerous experts to assess what matters most for college and career readiness and success. Independent research demonstrates that the single most important factor for demonstrating college readiness is high school GPA. Even more predictive than GPA, though, is GPA combined with an SAT score. So how is the SAT organized? The SAT has 4 tests, with the essay being optional. The 3 tests that everyone would take are the reading test, the writing and language test, and the math test. The timing and number of questions are as follows. For the component of reading, the time allowed is 65 minutes and the number of questions is 52. For the writing and language test, the time allowed is 35 minutes and we have 44 questions. For math test, the time allowed is 80 minutes and the questions required is 58. Essay is optional test, so you don't either can take it or not. The time allotted is 50 minutes and the number of questions is just 1. Total 180, 230 with essay and 154 questions with 155 with essay. Remember, more scores, more information. The score reported on the SAT provide detailed information about your achievement and readiness for college and career. The essay is optional, but some high schools and colleges require it. Depending on your high school and your college choices, you may already know whether or not you'll take the essay. If you have any uncertainty, for instance, if you can imagine that you might transfer from a school that doesn't require it to one that does, consider taking the SAT with essay. How is the SAT scored? When you take the SAT, we don't get just one score. The SAT reports a total score, but there are also section scores, test scores, cross-test scores, and sub-scores. This wide array of scores provides insight into your achievement and your readiness for college and career. You earn points on the SAT by answering questions correctly. No points are deducted for wrong answers, so go ahead and give your best answer for every question. There's no advantage to leaving any blank. Total score and section scores. The total score is the number most commonly associated with the SAT. The total score ranges from 400 to 1600. This score is the sum of the scores on the evidence-based reading and writing section, which include the reading and writing and language tests, and not math section. Of the 150 questions in the entire SAT, not counting for the essay, 96 questions on the reading and the writing and language tests, and 58 questions on the math test. Section scores for evidence-based reading and writing and for math are reported on scale from 200 to 800. The evidence-based reading and writing section score is derived in equal measure from the scores on the writing and reading and language tests. The math section score is derived from the score on the math test. Test score. Test scores are reported on a scale of 10 to 40 for each of the 3 required tests: reading, writing and language, and math. Cross-test scores. Cross-test scores, one for analysis in history, social studies, and one for analysis in science, are reported on a scale of 10 to 40 and based on selected questions in reading, writing, language, and math tests that reflect the application of reading, writing, language, and math skills in history, social studies, and science contexts. So I think that's the halfway of the first chapter. I think tomorrow I will read the rest of the chapter 1 about the SAT exam. Thank you so much.